Hey, welcome back. We are back here at the Hudson household on a wrap-up of primarily a hardscape project. As you can see, I'm standing on a brand new walkway. We used Mega Cambridge from Belgard, and this is specifically called titanium in color. Has a little bit of white mixed in with the gray, so it's got a little bit more life to it than some of the other gray products out there. We did a step up to this small patio, and this neighborhood that Mr. Hudson lives in is very close knit, and so people will often walk by and stop in. So if you're sitting out front, you will expect to get fellow neighbors come sit up here. So because of the elevation change coming off of his existing concrete patio, which was at the size of the porch here, and then extending it, we had to build a step into here so that it's actual step up, which is kind of a cool transition, puts you up a little bit higher. And then as far as plantings go, it's winter, so the plants don't look their best at the moment, but they will perk up this spring. But we've got butterfly and bee attractors. We've got some salvia, we've got a firebush, we have some blue daze, and then we have some easy to care for loriope out here. So the walkway extends down to the driveway, and one of the needs for Mr. Hudson were the fact that his driveway, when he gets out, is too narrow to step out, and so this gives you a hard surface to walk on, and it makes for a much easier egress, especially if you have kids or car seats or things like that to deal with in a family situation. We did a smaller expansion on the right side of his driveway for the same reason. It gives you a little bit of space to step out if there's a car parked on the driveway here. And one of the things that we did that a lot of people wouldn't consider doing is the amount of base and rock that's under this area where you might potentially drive a car onto it by accident is a full 6 inches of base underneath of the pavers, and that goes for that site as well. Traditionally, where you do a standard walkway or patio like we have up here, you only use, say, 4 inches of base and don't necessarily add rock under there, which we did where it needs to be to support the weight of automobiles. You can often find paver guys who will do driveways on the cheap, and the problem is that they don't do the necessary base to go underneath of it. Hence, a couple years out, they get waves and buckles in the driveway that you shouldn't see when you do the proper work. So this is basically all he's got going on in the front, and we're going to take a walk to the backyard and take a look at what we did back there. As we enter into the backyard, you can see where we expanded the pavers, and one little thing that you want to think about if you ever do a project like this is the area right in front of a gate. It's always going to get beat up from travel, people stepping here, and it's going to be muddy. So we extended the pavers out beyond the gate so that when you actually are using the gate, you're on a hard surface. Another aspect that we had to address in this project was the fact that there was a rain barrel here before we started the work out here. And so we extended this downspout pipe down to the ground to make this clean look. And then we extended the black traditional piping that you would use underground goes underneath of the walkway. And this walkway also, as you can see, serves for trash cans and whatnot to be back here. But Mr. Hudson, we're real close to the Navy base in Mayport, and Mr. Hudson does Bible studies for military people off the base. So this area with the patio expansion in the backyard was to create a nice area where they can gather, especially on nice weather days, and hold Bible studies out in the back here. So this originally, the patio came to the edge where the column is, and then we pushed it out further, and it all flows between the walkway, and it's all the same materials that we had in the front yard. So if you walk around to the back, you're going to see the same thing. The nice thing about the Mega Cambridge pavers is you get some very large pavers but they're not so large that you couldn't do a whole driveway in that. So there's less joints. I think it's a little bit nicer look than doing a much smaller paver. And again, we did some minor plantings back here. So we've got some salvia on the left. We've got some bromeliads, matchstick bromeliads across the forefront. We have some shishi camellias in the background. And then we transplanted a fire spike from the front yard, and that's a great hummingbird attractor. The salvia are a real good bee and butterfly attractor. And then the matchsticks, being new, aren't blooming, but they typically would be blooming this time of year. And then we kind of did a repeat over in this corner with the camellias and the bromeliads. So we've taken a little bit of the square nature out of this backyard and tried to soften it and make it look as though it was a much more thought out process. So this patio will serve a lot of really good purposes. I think as far as the final outcome of this project, I know Mr. Hudson's very pleased with everything that we've done. And I hope this shows that Rockaway can perform, many different facets. We do pavers. We typically don't do a lot of pavers in, say, Atlantic Beach due to coverage issues, but this home is actually in the city of Jacksonville. Hey, I just want to say thank you very much for checking out our channel this year. We're heading into 2024. The birds will be back next year, and I just hope you have a safe and happy holiday. We'll see you next time.